Hello, welcome back to a new video. Today we are getting started on the light package on the sprayer. I'll show you what I got, I'll show you what I've already done, and then what I am working on now. We'll start with what I've already done. I changed out these lights down here are the high beam, low beam road lights, and they're kind of the main light shining out when you're actually spraying. So these were just standard halogen. I got the bulbs that came out of them right here. That's what the bulb looks like, high beam, low beam. Was able to get LED versions, Philips, they're the 9003, and was able to get LEDs to put in them. So I already got that done and buttoned up. The camera is acting up today. It got really cold last night, so the battery's all finicky. So you guys have been staying plugged in on the shelf for most of the day. Got them done. Now I'm working on the boom lights. As far as LED upgrades goes, that's the extent of just your regular LEDs. Next year, well, I started this video off already technically, but the clip didn't work because my camera, with it being cold this week, the battery is just not holding up and it died in the middle of the clip. So welcome guys to a new video. Today I am about 80% done with the light upgrades on this Rogator, but I'm gonna walk you guys through what I have so far, and then we will continue on with the project. So first of all, for forward facing lights, this thing doesn't have a lot to it. There are these square ones down here on the bottom. These are your main lights. These are high beam, low beam. These are what we upgraded. We replaced the bulbs inside of them. They were regular halogen. We replaced them with LEDs. They're a lot brighter now. We're gonna run with just those upgraded for now. The only other front facing lights are these in the nose of the hood. We may look into upgrading them next year, but for now it was about $55 to replace both of the light bulbs. They came in a 2-pack, so that's the extent of forward facing lights. Now, I talked about in the past replacing them up there on the back of the cab. Those are the back shining ones, but I think with the other lighting upgrades that I did, we will be running mostly with those lights off in the field, and that is so that the light pattern on the boom does not get drowned out by the white light off the back of the cab. But anyway, with that, we'll show the big upgrades, and that is this LED light here. This is a red forklift light, so it's supposed to shine a solid beam on the ground, so hopefully it does that. And you can see mounting it on this side was fairly simple. It's just a band self-tapped into the thing. It's a nice solid piece too, so it's not going anywhere. Got the wiring ran, used weather pack connectors, built this whole harness. I got this is 18 gauge 2-wire just heavy duty wire harness. Got it on Amazon. I got a 200-foot roll, I believe, so it's running all the way along here, all the way down to here, and then we have quick splices here, so the main wire keeps going up and out, but then it comes down to another weather pack to this light, which is the blue fog light. So I'll back up, give you guys a reference point of where that's at. Right behind the wheel. That way the canopy, if we're driving through canopy or during side dress, it's not getting hit by stuff. And then that wire comes along here and along here, and then it ends here in these butt connectors. And then the wiring harness from the other side continues on, and it gets mirrored on this side with the same blue light there. This end had to be mounted a little different because the boom got refabbed on this end from the previous owner, and they did it a little different. Instead of this beam coming back to here, it just goes straight. So we ended up with a L-shaped bracket holding that light. That way, same clearance. If the boom ends up in the dirt, it's not going to break the light off. But if we come back down here, now we are running from these two connectors. We got to run all the way up to the top of the mast and then back down. And we're going to run down this metal frame there under this floor pan and run along here And then we're gonna follow that GPS harness up to the top of the cab. I was gonna go in this door, but there's no access to wiring management going up into the top. And then once we're up in the top, we'll be coming out into the cab onto these. This is our lighting package, and then our hazards. This is those two main ones down there that I was talking about, high beam, low beam. And then you adjust your high beam and low beam with that. I don't know why that flashes. And then this is the nose lights. This is the rear lights. And then these two are unallocated at the moment. So that's where we're gonna tie in, is on number 3. And I gotta try and figure out how all that works, because it is all wired currently. I don't know where those wires end up, but we'll find out when we take the cab off. Which we might go ahead and take the cab off now, because then that might affect where we end up going with those wires in the back. Yeah, now that I think about that, we'll take the cab off now. Plus the wind's finally died down. It was breezy all morning. I was gonna wait and pull the sprayer in the shop so that the cab didn't go when I pulled that top off, but I think we'll be okay now. It's gonna be a little different now, because I usually use the boom as my ladder to get up there. Got a bunch of little bolts. We go all the way around. We got to pull the globe off, which is no big deal. It's just a magnet. The cab should lift off. There's wiring here. This might be lighting number 3. I will test them right off the bat, I guess, before we take the cab off. Got all sorts of electrical stuff now. I'm collecting a lot. I've got all these Deutsch connectors. Bought them on Temu along with all those butt connectors. They were super cheap on there. And I figured out why, because they're not compatible with the regular US ones. So if I want to tie into an existing one, then I have to go buy a US Deutsch connector, which sucks, but when I'm building harnesses, I can use them. Then I bought a whole container of weather pack ones for this project. The funnest part of testing stuff like this, trying to find the ground. I'm pretty sure these lights will work. Light on over there? Maybe I need the key on. No, that's light. Nothing's on it. No, I was wrong. These lights are on 3. I don't know what 2 is then. Well, the search is not going well. The cab's still pulled off. You can see because the lights are all out of whack at the moment. Side panel over here is all off. You can see that big wiring mess in there. Cab corner's off. Trying to find the wiring harness for that switch number 4. And I finally just broke down and called Farm Depot, which is our local Rogator applicator Agco applicator dealer, and they said that switch 4 was for lights that were on the rinse tank, and they said that the wiring harness came down, was tucked in the frame, and went along up into the corner and then up into there. Well, I can't find it. I've been looking everywhere, so I think we're just gonna end up tying into that harness we found up there and putting it on the same switch as those lights. And I don't know, we'll see if they cause problems being on together and one outshining the other, but I don't know, I can't find what I'm looking for. I also asked him about my dash, because that was acting up. He said that's super common even with the brand new rebuild one we got. He said Agco's just not able to get them perfect every time. So I may be pulling that out and taking it to Ag Express. Although I'd like to wait and get a year out of it, but I don't know. I checked them. I checked the harnesses out here that I have. I couldn't even get juice out of this one, but that might just be a ground issue. But I believe that is for the fence row nozzles. If you undo that zip tie, it'll stretch out to the end. And there's one on each side. So we're gonna tuck that cab all back together, and we're just gonna run that harness from the back up to the back of the cab. And wires all run. So now it's time for the moment of truth. I wish they would have spooled this better, because by the time I got to the end here, I couldn't unwind any more wire off of this. It just tied into knots the more you unrolled it. But there's not much left there, so that's good. Alrighty. 2 giant challenges ahead of us. 1, will they turn on? And 2, will it fold up without busting the harness into a million pieces? Now, I followed all the chemical hosing exactly, so it should fold no problem, because I haven't had any problem stretching the hose or anything. So, I mean, there's a few spots where it gets a little tight, but it should work for folding. I have no idea if it's gonna work here. Oh, I still gotta put this back together. But if we hit 3, it'll beep at us. These lights will be on. And I think I see a red line out there on the ground. By golly. So I got blue lights. I can see that red line from here. That thing's pretty bright. Well, doggone, looky there. That's about where I want it too. It's right on the edge of the frame. So it'll be pretty close to where the pattern ends, I think. I don't know, we might have to... Can you guys see that? That's pretty cool. Tilt it out a little bit. There we go. Oh man, that is cool. I didn't think it would be that distinct of a red line, but it is. I can see it down there too. Blue light's on. It's kind of just upward reflecting. I don't really like that. We may have to tilt these way down like so to get it to shine out, but we'll see. I guess not. I guess it's a straight beam off the light. We'll leave it straight. I've seen a lot of people do them with one light. I might have bought the wrong ones to do that, and I may have to upgrade them down the line here, but I'm gonna tilt this one out a bit. About right in there, I think. Perfect. Line is right there. Oh, that is so cool. I can't believe it works. Now all I want to do is spray at night. Forget daytime spraying, guys. You're not supposed to spray in the daytime anyway. You're supposed to do it at night. So now I got a reason to, because I get to use some really cool lights. But we better shut it off, because last thing I need is a dead battery. Alright, so I gotta put that back together. Clean the cab out, put that manual away. Nobody needs it. It's worthless anyway. There we go. Put that socket back in. I gotta clean out the cab. I have a thumb drive. Our personal fields, I changed the way we named them after harvest last year. So I have a new setup file for this monitor. So I gotta wipe all of our personal fields and then put that new setup in. And then our custom ones stay the same. I didn't change them as far as I remember. There's a few farms or a few clients in this monitor because I've done a lot more custom spraying than we have harvesting, which is what the other monitor does. But we also do some custom side dressing, or did. I don't know if that's going to happen again. Last year was the first year. So We'll see. Put these away. It was cheaper if I bought a big baggie of them than just buying a couple. Let's see if they fit in my drawer. I gotta put my crimp tool in here yet, but should be good. All right, so I guess tonight, after it gets dark, I'll fire it up. We'll look at them again. Take some pictures for the gram and for Facebook. And then we'll fold it up and see if she folds. Everything else is all set. This air hose got kinked, but I cut it back and fixed it up. Somehow that elbow rotated all the way around and kinked the hose, but it should be good. I gotta pull the ladder out. I gotta call Ag Express, see about getting that dash fixed up, see how much that's gonna cost. It's really a priceless thing to do anyway, because when you're going down the road at 35 mile an hour with this, and that downshifts you to first gear just like that, you're at risk of blowing transmission seals and all sorts of stuff. So anything is going to be drastically more expensive than repairing that instrument cluster. So I will look into that. We want to be streaming nitrogen next week, so I might stream and then send it in so that it's not tying me up. Once we do one pass, we got 2 or 3 weeks before the second pass needs to be done. So should be all set. I think it's done. I think the sprayer is ready to roll. I got some new nozzle tips coming later this week, so we'll run a pattern test and replace any nozzles that are bad. And then I have to put my stream nozzles on yet. I could probably do that while it's unfolded here in the driveway. And I think that's it.